Hey guys, welcome to Sippin' and Spillin'. Sid here from Dream, Mississippi. Narcoleptic Nancy is in the car next to me here asleep. We are having our girls' day. We just went and got mani-pedis and ran some errands in Starkville. Had to go get that cheap gas at Kroger. Which it saves quite a bit, man. Like, instead of paying like $3.30 like I'd pay in town, I only paid $2.88, so not bad. Can't be mad at saving a little bit here and there when you can. But we're just kind of having our little girl day. She's taking a little nappy pill. We got to do a few chores and errands when not errands, but a few chores when we get home. Got some stuff to make, like a little cheese and cracker plate girl dinner, and I'm gonna make one of those grinder sub salads that has been like all over TikTok or whatever, so I got the stuff to make that, and we're just gonna like watch some movies and chill for a little while, and kind of just enjoy the rest of her day off from school. They call it fall break out here. We didn't have that growing up where I grew up in California. We had Columbus Day off, which was cool because my birthday back then, before they moved Columbus Day observance to whatever the Monday was, I always got my birthday off. So if my birthday fell on a Wednesday, I got that day off. If my birthday fell on Friday, I got that day off. It didn't matter when it fell, we always got that day off. So as a kid, that was really cool. Like, I got the day off from school on my birthday, and that was always fun. But now out here, they get Columbus Day observance off, which is always on Monday, and then they usually have like a staff development day the next day, so the kids get to, really, dude? Homeboy just turned right in front of me. So then they get, 2 days off in a row, which is nice. And they call it fall break. Growing up, fall break was always the couple days you got off during Thanksgiving. She's always gotten a week off for Thanksgiving, but when I was a kid, we only got, we'd go to school Monday, Tuesday, and we would get Wednesday, Thursday, Friday off of school. So I like that they get that longer break for that holiday. I think that's nice, especially when you're, trying to, back in the day when I was doing the big Thanksgiving meal for the family, it was nice because you kind of really had to start prepping things, at the beginning of the week. So it's kind of nice to have that time for families that are doing like a big thing like that. But I am looking forward to getting home, getting the groceries unloaded, doing my couple of things I need to do, evening chores, and then kind of hunkering down and hanging out for a bit. And then tomorrow she has a friend coming over after school before we have our live with you guys, which would be for you tonight. So we will see you tonight at 6 o'clock. And we're having my big birthday celebration with you guys. 6 o'clock Central Time. My birthday's on Thursday this week, so Wednesday night we're gonna party it up with you, and I'm looking forward to hanging out with you guys for my pre-birthday bash. I love it. So I got a little bit behind this week, which I'm not excited about. Other things happened and I had to kind of take care of, and so I haven't quite gotten my editing for Friday's video as done as I would like to this point. But tomorrow, after my normal chores outside and kind of cleaning and whatever, I should have time to make some headway on it for Friday's video. So I should be back on my targeted schedule in theory, hopefully by then. So we'll see. What else did I have to tell you guys? It's just my brain is all jumbled now. I have a jumbled brain. I did not sleep well last night, you guys. I'm sure you guys are aware in the news what's going on in Israel, and it just is not sitting right with me at all. I made the mistake of watching a bunch of news reports right before I went to bed, and I ended up having nightmares like all night, and so that's a problem. So I didn't sleep well, but I imagine there's a lot of people over there not sleeping well right now either, so I guess it's all relative. But just, keeping the Israeli people and their Israeli government in our prayers, and just hoping that justice is served for those that have inflicted this genocide on them over there. So just keeping them in our prayers, and hoping that things get better over there. But anyway, yeah, guys, I mean, just trying to, grind along this week and get stuff done. I just sort of feel like I got a little bit behind, and I know like everybody gets that feeling sometimes, but I don't know, I just feel like lately things have just been taking me so much longer than they normally would. I don't know what's up with that. I don't know, like I get distracted, I start working on something else, and then I'm like, oh shoot, I didn't do this and I need to do that, so like I by Sunday I signed up, so it's Pastor Appreciation Month, and I signed up for October 15th, which is this Sunday. And basically it's just, you can either give a little gift to your pastor if you want, or like write a letter basically expressing your appreciation and gratitude for them and the things that you like about them or whatever. And we got this new pastor that we just absolutely love. He and his wife, they're just absolute rock stars. I can't say, and I've talked to a lot of people at church, and everybody's like, how about that new pastor? Wow, he's great. Like, he's very involved. He knows what's going on with everybody at all times. He and his wife both are just very caring, loving people that are very involved in the community. And, they're not from our town. They're not from that far away originally, but they're, or where they were living most recently, I guess I should say. She's actually Canadian, so. And then he was originally, I believe, from Alabama, but, which I might be wrong on that. He might just be from further south in Mississippi, but I seem to remember, I know he's a Roll Tide. I know he's an Alabama fan. But anyway, so I need to sit down. I know what I want to say in the letter, but I need to sit down and write it, and I need to type it out and print it, because anybody that knows me knows that I have the handwriting of a serial killer, because after 20 years in pharmacy, there's no recovering from that bad handwriting. And so if I were to write it down, they wouldn't be able to read it, even if I tried to do it neatly. So I need to type it up, and I'm going to put together a little gift basket for them, essentially, of some stuff from the farm. And I might go, there's a little gift shop in town that I might stop at this week and get them a little something, because why not? So anyway, I need to get that done, and I thought I would have had it done by now, and it's been on my to-do list, and I keep, I'll do that tomorrow. I ran out of time, and I need to stop running out of time, and I need to sit down and do it. I probably could have done it last night instead of watching news reports, but I also feel it's important to be informed of what's going on in the world, and I had kind of been unaware of the severity of some things that were going on, so I feel updated and informed now. Whether that's good or bad, I don't know, but that's where I stand at the moment. But yeah, I do like them a lot, and and Mike even said, he's like, he just gets better and better every week. His messages just hit home more and more with everybody. Everybody's just like, wow. And we had somebody get up and give an amazing testimony this last Sunday, and that his sermon sparked this gentleman to stand up and speak, and it was just one of those things where everybody was just kind of moved and really thinking about it. And so he's great, and I love the two of them. They're very involved. I mean, I haven't been to an event at church yet, and I don't know, I would say I'm relatively involved in stuff at church. I try to show up for things as often as I can and help with, the rummage sale, and they're doing a thing for the football player kids, and I'm helping with that, and I do the pantry boxes, and there's stuff, with the church that I try to be involved in, but nobody can do all of it, right? It's just impossible. You wouldn't have a life. But everything that I show up for, they have been there. At least one or both of them has been there for at least part of the time. I mean, they put in the effort. And within the first week of being there and all of these new faces and names, they were talking to us by name after that first week. I mean, they really, that was important to them, that they learned everyone's names and knew who was related to who, and, you know, all of that. So I give them a lot of credit, because it can't be easy moving to a new town, moving into a new house, into the parsonage, and then there was a bunch of stuff that happened at the parsonage that needed repair all of a sudden, and they had some issues with their movers. I mean, they didn't have the easiest go of it, getting settled in, and they still, in the midst of all that, learned everybody's names during all that chaos, and still put out great sermons and volunteered and did stuff. So anyway, we're very blessed that we got this beloved Brother Brian and his family, don't get me wrong, but we were all very nervous when we were switching over, and we got an amazing, wonderful pastor. So anyway, that's enough gushing about somebody that you guys don't even know, but it's just very comforting, I guess, that we have such a nice leader in our church, and both of them, I think, are strong leaders in our church, and I think that's important. You know, they're a good team together, the way that they work together in the church family, and I really like that. So there's that. But yeah, we got a few things this weekend coming up that's kind of exciting. Frankie's been working with Beulah, and Beulah's been giving her a little bit of trouble. She does everything we ask her to do, except lunch. We cannot, ever since the first day that we met her, that we went to go see her to check her out, see if, you know, she had a decent personality and if Frankie could even get on her and whatever. Frankie, the first thing she did was lunge her, and she lunged both directions, no problem. Well, since she's been home with us, we can't get her to lunge for anything. She keeps turning into us. And we've tried different methods. We've watched every YouTube video there is. We've talked to all the horse people that we know, and just have not been able to get her to lunge at all. And anyway, there's one of the gals that I played bunco with, they also go to our church, but one of the gals that I played bunco with, her husband has worked with horses for like his whole life, and he was one of, and I may be wrong on this, but I had a conversation with him one day after a church event, and I seem to remember him saying that he was one of the people that started one of the equestrian programs. He was one of the founding members of one of the equestrian groups at State. I believe I heard him correctly. I think that's what he said. Sometimes I remember things slightly wrong, so forgive me if I'm giving bad information right now. But anyway, long story short is he knows his stuff, and at some point he wants to build a business of like riding lessons and things like that. But he hasn't done that yet. So, but when I had this chat with him that day, he said he knew Frankie was fixing to get her horse within the next few months, and he said, hey, when you get her, let me know. I'd be happy to come help you with anything, whatever. So I messaged my friend Kristen, and I said, hey, can you shoot Will Mike's phone number, because he wants to talk to him. And anyway, he's going to come by on Saturday and help work with Beulah a little bit, see if we can't break her of this turning into us habit and not lunging, so that Frankie can do that really important piece of groundwork. She's doing everything else pretty well, I think. She definitely, I do tease her though, I call her molasses sometimes, because when you call her to you, she sort of saunters over. She's not, like, there's no urgency in her getting to you, and inevitably she has to stop for a moment and relieve herself before she continues along her way to you. It doesn't matter what time of day you call her, when, whatever, she must relieve herself before she finishes getting to you, which I guess is sort of a good thing if you're about to saddle her up. I guess it's nice that she gets that out of her system, so you can tighten the cinch better if she's more empty, I suppose. I mean, goats do that before you milk them. When they get in a routine, they see you coming and they'll evacuate everything so that they don't feel that urgency when you're milking them. It's polite, I guess. So she's very polite in that sense, but there is zero urgency with her when you call her. But she does come when you call her. It just might take her her about 2 minutes to get to you if she's on the other end. Because she just saunters. She's not in a rush. But anyway, so that would be great. I'm really hoping that Will's going to be able to give us some tidbits. And I may film some or all of that and include it in a video at some point, you know, if we're able to make any progress with her, which hopefully we can, because she's smart and she wants to please, you can tell, but she's also, I don't want to say she's headstrong, but I want to say that she's very firm in her knowing what she wants sometimes. And so while she listens and she will do what you ask, there's certain times where you can tell she's like, I'm doing this, but I don't want to be doing this. I'm only doing this because you're asking me too nicely. But it's almost like she's saying, if you weren't asking me so nicely, I wouldn't do it right now. Like she has this kind of, this air about her sometimes, which I don't know, maybe it's all in my head, but she just gives off this vibe of like, I'm doing you a favor because I'm doing what you asked. But from what I understand, that's very common of mares sometimes, that they'll kind of do that. So, you know, is what it is. But she's a very sweet horse, and, you know, I practice with her a lot of mornings. You know, I'll brush her and I'll clean out her stock tank from any leaves and stuff and refill it a little. And I'll brush her, and if it's going to be hot, you know, a fly type day, I'll put fly spray on.
I'm a big fan of safe
Why were you
driving.
doing that again?
Got 4 lives left.
Like, I don't need you talking to me. I turned my GPS off and then it just turned itself back on. Bless it. Anyway, so yeah, so I think that we're gonna be able to make some headway with her. It's just gonna be a matter of there's a fine line with her that I've noticed, that if I'm too harsh with her, or too firm with her, I should say, not harsh. If I'm too firm with her, she wants to be rebellious. But if you're too soft with her, she thinks you're not serious. So there's a fine line with Beulah where you got to be firm, but not too firm, because then she gets like hurt. She's like, why were you mean to me? You know, she gets this look on her face like you just whipped her, even though all you did was use a stern tone. So, but she's coming along. She's doing good. And I think maybe with that little bit of somebody working with her and maybe finding a way to get her to, that has experience with all types of horses, that getting her over that little hump will maybe be helpful to getting her to be able to lunge her better. So we'll see. But anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and sign off here. We'll be home before too much longer, and fixing to get back to our girls' day, and hopefully Sleeping Beauty, Narcoleptic Nancy over here, will wake back up. I swear, this kid, put her in a car, passes out. It doesn't matter if it's a 5-minute drive or 20-hour drive, she's going to be asleep. So, anyway, guys, I hope you join us tonight for my birthday bash live on 3 Mississippi. And as always, guys, stay blessed and safety's on.